Okay, perfect. All right. Well, yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I'm so excited for this workshop, webinar, however way you want it. But as you know, as you are here, you probably have seen my portfolio or have been following me on LinkedIn for some time. And so I do just want to express my appreciation and the support as been honestly so overwhelming, just because I found so much community and just like the fact that we can all relate in job searching. It is a little tough out there. And so I wanted to create this event, create this community where we could all just support each other, look out for each other, just because the economy, it's getting hard. The job market climate is getting harder too. And so, yeah, just honestly finding especially other girls or other people in marketing too. It's just honestly so nice and so refreshing. And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start. So with the agenda. So this is the agenda for today. Just a little rubric. Again, it's going to be around like maybe 15 to 30 minutes at most. But yeah, genuinely just to get to know about me, know about why portfolios or why it even matters, the anatomy of a portfolio, certain design and presentation, and certain resources that I personally grab onto and get inspired by, as well as storytelling and personality and a personal demo of my work as well. And that's probably why you guys are here. Without further ado, so this is a little bit about me. Oops. Okay, so these are probably the four pillars how I would describe myself. So again, if you're here, my name is Grace, and I have a nickname called Gma because those are my initials. And so you'll probably see that here and there. But these are probably the four ways I would describe myself, how other people see me, or just things that I'm personally even navigating as a person. But first is I would describe myself as a creator at heart. I have always done doodling and different art projects and textures and everything like that. And that's manifested throughout my college career. So I graduated in fine arts at Cal State Long Beach, December 2023. And now that's translated into my desire for a career in marketing, specifically in digital marketing. So that could be manifested through influencer marketing, video editing, content creation, networking, but also like community management, brand activations, or event coordinations. And as well as on the side, I do a lot of freelance. So I work with other creators, other brands, and just different events or opportunities that come up. I'm always at the chance to grab at it, and I'm very ambitious. And so if you know me as a person, like you know that I will always put 110% into my work. And so that's kind of where I am in the creative sense, as well as just realistically speaking, I am looking for work. I am currently in social work and also marketing on the side. But my whole goal in job searching is just working in a capacity where I could grow, just grow in an opportunity or even in a company where it's specifically in beauty and tech, wherever, where I just truly just want to use my skill set and expertise to contribute to a mission statement of a company where I truly believe in and want to support. And the last little pillar I put as like a really big question mark, because I'm sure as you're here, whether it's pitching to brands, whether it's for job searching or anything. I myself am in the same boat as you, and I'm also navigating life. I'm navigating my mid-20s, and I don't know where the future will lead me. That's the exciting part where I have so much potential and so much opportunity where I could honestly go anywhere. But it's also extremely daunting because I genuinely don't know if I'm going to go where I want to be. I don't know where it will lead me. But all in all, I'm excited. And I feel like a lot of the steps I've been taking have been working. And so, yeah, I appreciate you guys all being here to witness all of that. But yes, at the end of the day, I am just a girl in the world who is passionate about marketing. And so, yeah, if you were to take anything away, that this is my personal and professional passion just to create community, to create content, to just be a creative person and hopefully, ideally, be in a work field where that will foster and fester into my role. And next is to go deeper into why a portfolio matters. And this is a glimpse of personal branding. And so I'm sure you have heard the term personal branding. It is quite trending right now, but I did want to dive deeper into what I mean by that. And so portfolio equals personal branding. And so when I say personal branding, you might think like, oh, what does that even mean? Like, do I have to start a company? Do I have to be a CEO? Like, no, it's not that deep. It's just you being associated with something. So you coming here based on my portfolio, you already have an assumption of what kind of person I am. It could be, wow, she's really creative, or like, wow, this person really wants to advocate for the community and for different people who are struggling, or like whatever associations you have that has led you to this meeting, this webinar, or even my LinkedIn. And so all in all, when someone looks at your portfolio, they are thinking of something already. So it's not just making things pretty. It's not just a gallery. It is your branding, and that is association with yourself. And so mainly this slide that I'm going through right now, it is actually an emphasis of how much you should be going to coffee chats, learning what other people are doing, going to webinars, thinking of what is it about this webinar, this workshop that I could take and learn and incorporate it in my work or my personal brand, right? And so in this section, asking yourself, I actually attended a webinar called Campus to Content by Taylor Falls. If you don't know her, she's a DI manager at Adobe, and she had her webinar, and I actually incorporated it in this slide. And a couple notes that I took is it said, what are you good at? What do people associate you with? And what do people go to you for without even asking? So these are a good a couple of questions to even start just on based on a scratch as to how to even approach what was it? A portfolio, right? And again, for creative careers, so considering your portfolio, what kind of field you want to pursue. So for me, I want to get into marketing. Some people want to get into UX UI, fashion design, and even if it's not creative, like let's say you're in HR, any sort of community management that you have, I would very much make a portfolio because portfolios are so important. It shows experience, style, and background. And so I actually had another coffee chat with Nick Anderson. He is someone who works at Sony Music Entertainment, and something that he said about my personal portfolio that I was so honored to even hear that he saw my work, but he had asked if there are 100 resumes that are good enough, how do you stand out, right? So it's not just the keywords optimized for the resume, going through the ATS system, because all in all, everyone's going to be like that. Everyone's going to be having an amazing resume, but what is outside of your resume? Your portfolio could be your LinkedIn. Like, how are you as a person? How can you show up for others or anything like that? And so, that's something to also consider. And then again, something to leave with is how would a brand see you? And this is something I got from a talent manager, a freelance talent manager. Her name's Natalie Grande, and she also gave me a lot of insight as to how would someone objectively on a business and corporate standpoint see your work. They won't see of how cute it is. They'll see what can you bring to the table. And so that's a little bit of insight of what portfolio and personal branding is. And next, I wanted to go into what an anatomy of a portfolio is like. And so this is has to do with impressions. First impressions are really important from portfolios, but also just networking in general. And so the first thing is a hook. And so I know you hear that across social media or just blogs or anything to that deals with people or customer service. So you might think, okay, what is a hook? And so my hook could look very different. So however way you got to this webinar, it could have been my comment on a mutual person's post. It could have been my personal post, and it could have been like me doing, my job searching strategy, whatever it is. it led you to me somehow in this algorithm or whatever. And so you might think, okay, I really want to know who is Grace, right? Like, who is she, you know? And you might have two impressions. One, you go to my portfolio and you're like, she's whatever. Or you have another one, and it says, I like Grace. Like, I like her work, or I like what this is. Like, I personally want to explore more. And then again, they're going to ask three questions. What is their personality like? What have they done? And what numbers can they provide? And so, what is their personality like? So, for me, I do want to get into social media. So, I have to, and specifically social media in beauty marketing. And so, I have to be contributing work across social media platforms, but also the content of beauty, right? And so let's say you're a graphic designer, you'll probably go into graphics, designs, make it colorful, and then with fashion, fashion texture patterns. And then with beauty, makeup, UGC, right? So all of these are kind of categories of this field. And then what have they done? So you're going to go into experience, expertise, and content, right? And so these are all the things that every white space that you have in your portfolio, it has to mean something. It has to show what have you done, right? And then specifically numbers, this is across resumes and also portfolios. I will probably make a resume workshop in the future, but I want to emphasize how much numbers actually make such a huge difference when it comes to for portfolio building. And so whether that's I've generated 200,000 views worth of videos across all five social media platforms. Like that already gives a brand, gives a company, gives a recruiter an idea of like, okay, this girl can bring a lot to the table. So how many likes, how many comments, how much growth and visibility. And all in all, again, all goes back to the hook and your impression and the continuous impressions that you give and almost give results to that impression that they follow, right? Because you guys are here because I gave a whatever impression, and then it led to this of it developing into something where I could give my resources, give my insight to you, and also just something to keep in mind. This portfolio was years in the making. This was not just one subtle swipe of a portfolio. This is something I've been honing and sharpening along the years. And so, just again, another reminder that this is very much practice into perfection. And so I'm going to go ahead and give you, just for the sake of time, I'm not going to go into deep into each section, but this is just a general like checklist as to as to what you should incorporate into your portfolio. So first, introducing yourself, a little resume summary or anything like that, as well as a creative story, personality, an about me page, having work samples, work projects, including your visuals, your roles and results, et cetera, et cetera. And then having a contact, whether it's your email, preferably not your phone number, maybe leave that for your resume. But something I personally incorporate are passion projects or just for fun sections, because again, going back to personal branding, your resume doesn't capture your personality, your fun side, your oh, I'm so sorry. Well, I guess we have 20 or 10 more minutes. Okay. Anyways, so then we're gonna go into design and presentation. So as you guys are all here, this means that you have seen my portfolio and just know that my portfolio, it shows that it's associated to something, right? And so based on those things, you want your brand, you want your portfolio to be associated with something. And so making sure your visuals are consistent, making it skimmable, choosing visuals that are appealing and also to your personality or your style, as well as just showing the behind the scenes, things that people don't really see, as well as different tools to incorporate in your portfolio. So sorry for the sake of time, I do have to hurry. Um, And then again, these are some resources that I use. So this is a UGC creator that I follow. I've been following her work for a while. And so she's actually the one that inspired me to even start a portfolio. This is a good LinkedIn group that I follow. They actually post a lot of job boards, or anything to do with marketing. They have marketing boot camps that you could join, as well as Alyssa Cohen. I think she's in social media marketing at Tatcha, but she's another resource and inspiration for my portfolio personally. This is another influencer that I use. Yeah, as you can see in terms of like her videos or anything like that. And then this is more tech related, but this is an intern at Shopify. I met him at a networking event, Jimmy Vu. And so I also really like his portfolio because he actually made it from scratch since he's in software engineering. But yeah, I really like his portfolio. So sorry for the sake of time, I'm gonna try to hurry. But yeah, again, with storytelling and personality, you want to give your reason and your story as to why you create, what inspires you, and use different keywords, different, what was it, numbers, different metrics to incorporate into your portfolio. Yeah, things and personalities that they can't really see or capture on a resume. You want to show your growth as to, oh, this is what I've accomplished in the beginning of my career and where I am right now. And then again, referring to personal branding. So again, how would a brand see you? Again, this is something I personally just hold to my heart, and it's a quote. It says, "Good artists copy, but great artists steal." And so, this is something I personally just try to absorb as much as I can to see, hey, I like this person, I like what they're doing. How can I do that too in a way where I could accomplish the same strategy? Another thing is being like a student and growing to learn. That's also another thing. Manifesting. This is something that I know that deep down I will continue and be consistent to work hard, and stuff like that. And then, yeah, again, going back to not only quality, quantity, and consistency, but also strategy. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and go deeper into my personal portfolio. So this is my portfolio. And so this is what it looks like behind the scenes on Canva. If there are other sites to use, there's also something called readymag. That's something I was considering. There's also Adobe, of course. But yeah, this is something I'm personally using. So this is my public site, and then this is my editing site. And so the reason why I think a lot of people really like my work is that it's constantly interactive, that something new is around the corner. And so I use this feature, animate, and then I drag these photos here. So here I'll show you. So I drag it manually and then it does it manually. Let me go back. Oh, there. And then I also used the different Canva frames. I made this video compiled with my other videos and I incorporated it into my frame. And then another question that I get a lot is, how do I make this image that if you click on it, it leads you to my Instagram page? And then I actually attach the page to my image. So if you go click on this image, the three dots on the right, and then you go to link, it will lead you to one of my pages, right? So right now it's on Instagram. But if you go on here, it's on projects, right? On projects. If it's here, it's campaigns. If it's here on YouTube, right? And then again, associating with social media. So again, I just rounded these corners to mimic and mirror Pinterest styles. And then because I'm trying to get into social media, content calendars, or social media and, planning content, I wanted to make a mock Google Calendar to show that I am very organized because my Google Calendar really does look like this. And then again, attaching my doc, which is my resume, which is public. And so I attach it to my portfolio. And then again, content calendar, just an idea of what it would look like. And then these are my socials. So again, I downloaded LinkedIn logo and attached my LinkedIn so you could click on it. And then again, with the animation feature, I physically dragged it above. And then because I'm trying to get into beauty content, I've been on obviously incorporating beauty into my work. And so if you're looking for um, collagen, bio or MetaHeal PNG, and then I incorporate there. And then again, I incorporate my own work that I've cultivated over the years. And then again, going through my Instagram, I always try to stay true to my followers. I give a bio of my work, but also incorporating metrics as I've mentioned. And then again, my YouTube analytics, incorporating certain videos or anything like that. Let's see, long form. And then again, mocking TikTok because I am trying to get into social media marketing. Again, another TikTok. And then this is also another thing that I actually mentioned today. But in terms of job searching seems endless. But I would recommend making mock projects on your own. And so every time I've applied to jobs or just made outside of my job searching, I'm constantly doing something. I'm making a project. I'm video editing, and now I'm trying to build a community where I'm hosting these webinars because people will see that, people will reach out, and people will honestly recognize that. And so another sneak peek is that I actually went to a pop-up, and when I go to a pop-up, I try my best to meet someone in corporate, and I make sure my wallpaper is my portfolio, is my linked tree so that people could see. And so if you're in here, I would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, so again, kind of going into what was it? Yeah, I think everyone's back, right? Okay. So yeah. So yeah, now going into, like I said, my passion projects. So these are things that I do in my extracurricular time. So I was my sister's maid of honor. That experience could work too. I don't want to put that in my resume, but I did do a lot of planning. I did do a lot of work. And so I did want to incorporate that somehow. And then I was featured in the Wall Street Journal. So again, I mentioned that as well. I did art shows in college. I mentioned that as well. Again, LinkedIn, community outreach, and everything. And then again, I generated honestly over 1,500 followers over the course of 4 or 5 months, just simply because of how much visibility I brought to different brands. Again, this is something I haven't really worked on, but it's still something I'm trying to get on top of. So yeah, like I showed you with my portfolio. And then yeah, that essentially is all that I had to show you guys. Thank you for everyone who has come. I hope to post this in the future so that everyone else could also enjoy. But yes, this is my link tree and these are my socials as well as my portfolio for, again, reference. But I did want to leave some time for Q&A or even just like me going through my portfolio, and if you wanted to see something specific, I'm also open to share. But yeah, thank you again for all who came. Okay, sorry. I see Leah. Okay, what advice would you have for those who want to break into marketing with non-marketing degree, don't have marketing intern experience? Okay, that's a really good question. Okay, something I did want to mention. A lot of people assume that I have beauty marketing experience, but it's really funny because I actually don't have like too much beauty marketing experience. So it's like I'm sure you've heard this before, but a lot of people say you try to reword or rephrase your current experience into what you want other recruiters, other HR positions that they would want to see. So, like my current role, I'm in social work. And so, when you think of social work, you're not really thinking of marketing or like specifically even beauty marketing in that matter. However, I do volunteer in a marketing group at my work because they allow us to kind of dive into other departments. And so that's another great way to get into the industry is that I incorporated marketing into the role that I have. But let's say, yeah, it's like completely like you have no experience, then I would say you make your own experience. So, like I said, outside of my job search, I'm creating mock projects. I'm making, yeah, community engagement webinars. I'm trying to make something out of nothing, if that makes sense. And so it really is a trial and error because me making those campaigns, me making that LinkedIn strategy, they were all very much like on a whim, but they started working because it was a strategy. And so you kind of just want to figure out what's working, what isn't. And honestly, you can't figure that out unless you keep just going, keep trying, and kind of navigating it along the way. Hello, Destiny. Finally meeting you. Okay, what were the other portfolio sites you mentioned earlier again? Okay, that's a good one. I would say Ready Mag. So that's one word, Ready Mag, M-A-G. That was one. I heard of Adobe. Like there's Behance. I think I mentioned right here. Yeah, so there's Adobe, there's Behance. That's like again for graphic design. There's Canva, which is something I use again because I'm not like a major designer. It's more like I just want to show my work. So Canva is easy. There's Wix, there's Squarespace. I would say Wix and Squarespace is more business oriented. Like for example, businesses have it uh, on Wix and Squarespace because you could add like payment issue or not payment, payment. You can integrate payment methods in those sites. So again, it depends. So like for example, if you guys didn't know, because I didn't know, but Canva is actually Adobe's competitor, which I actually wasn't aware. And so when I was applying to Adobe roles or like connecting with Adobe people, they were saying like, oh, like Canva's kind of taboo because like there are competitors. And so I was like, okay, so understanding what kind of industry you're trying to get into, your audience, the recruiters. So again, I'm trying to get into beauty, so all my content is catered to beauty. But Christy, you said, sorry if I answered your question as well. But do you have any advice on ways you've networked? How do you find out about events? Oh, that's a really good question. Um, Networking is honestly as exhausting as job searching, if I'm being completely transparent. There are a lot of different ways I network. I would say a big one is obviously LinkedIn. I actually recently started LinkedIn within the last year. And so what I've learned is to make most out of nothing. So it's either I'm engaging with people, like let's say I'm following a recruiter, I will be commenting on their posts. If they post a lot, like that's perfect because that's another way to engage with the recruiter. So like let's say they're like, "Oh, congrats, like Elf accomplished road," right? And if a talent manager or recruiter is commenting or posting that, I'm gonna comment too. I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, I love Road. Like, how great for Elf. Another, and then they would associate your name with the way that you engage with their content. So that's one way. If there's a job post, I will tag the person who tagged who made the post. So let's say, Christy, you made the job post. I'll be like, thanks at Christy. Thanks for the post. Like, I'm interested in this job. I have experience in this and this and this. Feel free to take a look at my portfolio. And like that's another way. Or just like cold contact, like, hey, like I found your LinkedIn, like it was great. And for the most part, they ignore you. And so if they ignore you, I go the extra length and I'm petty, but I will find their personal email like on their LinkedIn profile and then I'll email that email because I want to be loud, like I want to be visible and I'm very eager, I'm very ambitious. And so in this climate, you have to go above and beyond to be loud. And that's what I've learned engaging with everyone on LinkedIn. And so I hope that answers your question. And then Ariel, what was the other program or site did you mention? Can we host? Oh yeah, Canva is one, Adobe is another. Again, yeah, it's right here. So Notion, Behance, Canva, Wix, Squarespace. And then the guy that I mentioned, Jimmy Vu, he actually made his own. So I don't know how committed you guys are, but I'm not too tech savvy. And so he did make his. Wait, where is it? Yes, Jimmy. So that's his. So he's very tech savvy, but I hope that answers your question. And then Kendall, any tips for gaining confidence posting LinkedIn influencer style content despite fear of others judging? That's a funny question. I've never heard of, I know that LinkedIn influencers, like they're out there, but like I just find it funny because like I just never associated that. Um, that's a good question. I would say, honestly, like with job searching and like with confidence, you don't gain confidence out of inspiration. You get confidence out of motivation to that you want it badly enough. So let's say, because I didn't even know that you could post on LinkedIn. That was never a concept to me until my coworker, Doris, I don't know if she's out there, she was the one that had been posting. Like she was posting her work. And I was like, I never thought that that was a thing. And she was like, yeah, like I just want, recruiters and other jobs to see what kind of work that I do. And it just never occurred to me. And so I was like, hey, you know what? I have nothing to lose. I'm like, I'm not jobless, but like, I'm so passionate to get a job, an opportunity. If any sort of posts like does anything or reaches any kind of people, like that would be amazing. And honestly, I've been posting since I would say like May or June. No, I'll say June. And I had so much opportunity. I got to be featured in the Wall Street Journal because they're like, hey, I like what you had to say. I would love to interview you. And I was like, when in a million years did I think that anyone would want to hear what I had to say? And so I just kept going and I just kept going. And everyone in this call, like everyone has been like asking for more insight, asking for more advice. And I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so honored, but like I'm so grateful that at least one person had received any sort of support or just any idea that would be better. Like that was just like amazing. So to answer your question, despite the fear of others judging, I think you just have to do it with the fear, to achieve your confidence. Because again, it doesn't come from inspiration, it comes from motivation that you want it badly enough. So that's what I would say. I hope that answers your question. But yeah, OMG, this is super helpful because I interned in nonprofit and I feel like nonprofit and social work are pretty similar. Yeah, yeah, that's a pretty good. Yeah, honestly, yeah. And you could even incorporate certain keywords in that nonprofit. So let's say like I'd done a lot of outreach calls. That's a bracket of marketing. I strategized ways to build more community. Like that's marketing too. Hey Destiny. Leah, do you know any, these are all really great questions, by the way. Do you know of any marketing communities of people looking to build their portfolios and grow in the field? Yeah, that's a great question. This is why I put it in this resource area. The Sky Society Woman in Marketing. It's led by Natalie Peters. They actually post a lot of girls who post their marketing portfolios. They're like, hey, I need some feedback. Like, can you guys look at this? I'm in that group. A lot of recruiters are in that group, so I would definitely take advantage of this group as well. That is real. Yes. Thanks, Christy. Brianna, recruiters are truly your best friend. It took me about a year to find my job. Every recruiter that reaches out to you, engage with them, stay in touch, get on that call, even if that role isn't perfect, and they'll remember you. Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, because it's funny, but yeah, like a recruiter actually, I sent this event to recruiters. Like that was like another way to engage a recruiter to engage with you in your work, like just being visible, just being loud, like just showing that you're passionate about all of your work. Oh, why? Okay. Anyways, oops, so sorry. It is converting my work. Anyways, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hmm, here we go. Okay, for my personal experience, thank you for sharing. That was amazing. Okay, 24/7 Talent MBO partners on LinkedIn. Yeah, they also reached out to me as well. Would 100% recommend the Sky Society group. Of course, yes, Destiny, of course. And then thank you so much for hosting. Oh, yes, of course, Bianca. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, does anyone else have any questions? You can also feel free to unmute, or if you want, I could also go in depth of like my portfolio as well. So let's see. Yeah, anything to do with my portfolio. Hmm. Yeah, I'll probably give it around 3 to 5 minutes, unless anyone else has any other questions. Of course. Thank you for coming, Destiny. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, Brianna. I'm so honored that you guys are here. Oh, thank you, Hannah. Of course. Yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing. Ooh, cute. Okay, so Wix. I actually used to have a Wix as well. Collaborative, productive. Okay, so I'm just gonna like just see it. So I would say just visually speaking, because I didn't even read it yet. I just see like collaborative, but if I didn't read it, I'd probably make this smaller and certain words bigger. So like let's say you really, really wanted to emphasize certain ones. I would probably make collaborative small and production savvy, like really big, freelance producer, and then dot 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 like multimedia specialist, really big and then with experience delivering everything like really small, if that makes sense. Because when I see this, it's just like all kind of jumbled together. So I would say if you want to emphasize like certain words, I would probably say that. Hold on, I'm gonna see the chat. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so like not taking away from your bio, I would rather emphasize certain things in your bio. But visually speaking, it's pretty good. I like your picture, very cute. Um, okay, oops. Hmm, let me see. Oops. Okay, there. Ooh, okay, cool. So yeah, even this background, it kind of looks like a stock photo, if I'm honest. Like it would be cool if you had like one of your projects or even a picture of you. I think that would be really cool. Or even just like a blank color or something. But I think the concept is cool. Like this scroll effect is really cool. Featured projects. Ooh, okay. So initially, I think color might be. Oh, I have to click on it. Okay, okay. Okay, really cool. Okay, wait, I was contracted. Okay, so maybe, so going back, I like the interactive. Oh, wait, oops, I'm in the wrong. So I like how interactive so far it is. But I would probably maybe simplify it, maybe even make it smaller. I'm trying to think. So because your home page is like this menu, right? So it's giving me an impression of who you are. So based on this, I only see well, one gray, right? Because I haven't like interacted with it, but also like I'm not too sure what I'm looking at, if that makes sense, up until I click on it. So maybe having like one section projects, one section freelance, one section internship or something in a more like maybe like one photo and like that's small, if that makes sense. Here, so um let me see. So about very cute. Oops. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I think my laptop's slow. Okay. So training. Okay, yeah. I would say like this is pretty good too, just like an idea. And then oops. Yeah, this is also good too, like showing what kind of softwares you use. Oh my gosh, I wanted to go to Italy. That's the dream. Hmm. Okay, this is really cool. So yeah, like seeing different projects you've had, different experience. Oh, so like this is a concept that I was telling you about. So like bolding certain things that you want to be highlighted. Oops. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then I'm gonna go, oops, okay, portfolio. Okay, oh, so yeah, this is something I was like more so talking about of like having some sort of implication of what the project's about. Yeah, because this gives me a better idea of like, okay, so you have like variety of work, just simply just glancing at it. Yeah, because this looks really cool. Like you have all kinds of experience from beverage, from health, from fitness. Like it looks really cool. Um, I would even make it maybe even a little smaller, maybe. But yeah, no, this looks great. Um, yeah, I like that too. LinkedIn, yeah, all contact. Yeah, this is great so far. Yeah, so like that was probably my only, yeah, the only part I would probably say is like again the bio, just like first glance, this photo, and then this future projects. Because if either the fonts and everything here should either be on the home page or you should change the style of this one because it looks kind of similar, right? Especially the same photos too, because I want to see like either all these differently or it should look similar to your portfolio page. Um, Oh, wait, here. I'm gonna look at Haley's first. Okay, so wait, maybe I'll just delete the featured project section on the home page. Yeah, I could see how that's convenient. How your person. Oh, thank you. And then, okay, I'm gonna go back to Leah. Okay, so wait, Grace, I did have one more question. How did you get the templates for like the gaming from your slides to those kind of fonts on portfolios? I actually got it on Canva, so I I just got it from Canva. Yeah, like I didn't have too much of um, it wasn't hard. Yeah, I just found the template and then I kind of went for it. But my portfolio template, that's different. So I made that from scratch. So there was no like template from that. I just pulled different inspirations from other times. And then Bianca, so when linking your projects to your visual icons, did you do that by making a separate Canva project file and add a new section? Yes. So here, I could go back to mine. So I'll edit it. Oops. Okay, so I'll go back. Oops. So this is lead. So again, because all of my work is from Canva, I attached my link to my pages. So I'll go to link. And then the pages, I'll go to the pages in this document. So I'll go to my Instagram page. But let's say I want to attach like, let's say an external link. So let's say my Pinterest or like my LinkedIn. Let me see if it's right here. Oh yeah, it should be right here. So if it's my Instagram, I will attach my Instagram link. If it's my YouTube, I'll attach my YouTube link. If it's my Pinterest, right? So, does that answer your question? My LinkedIn. And then again, my other campaigns also are linked. That is also on Canva as well. So I will link it in here, or I linked it in at the bottom. Yeah, I linked them right here. So Sashu, Rare Beauty, Sanrio, Nami, and Samyang. Hmm. Yeah, does anyone else have any other questions? I could even see other people's portfolios as well. What type of mock projects, Jessica, you said, type of projects would you recommend in we could create in our portfolio, especially for those who don't have formal? Yeah, that's a good question. I would actually refer to LinkedIn. There are plenty of people who have mock projects. Here, I'll show you. I'll even go to my homepage. Let me see. I don't know if I could see. Okay, I think it's right here. hmm Yeah, so I save a lot because they're so inspirational and I would love to show. Yeah, so Chloe, I think that's how you say her last name. She's a good LinkedIn influencer and also social media influencer. Oh, Grad Girlies. This is another group that I really like. Yeah, let me see. So they make mock or even different brochures or anything, and this is her version of LinkedIn influencing that she does it for a living now, which is crazy. What's another one? Someone else. Again, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Is it Sanjukta? She, a lot of people do this actually. They do like kind of um, trending um, kind of themes where they'll kind of touch upon different brands. I also like when they do this. It's like just visually pleasing too. Um, yeah, they just do this in their sh free time too. Um, and it builds community. It shows their understanding of the industry. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, best founder-led brands. But yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. Yeah, so I've made these campaigns in my free time where actually I'll go to my public. So I made these during my free time. I apologize, it's loading. Hmm. Okay, well, you could see it, but if you have access to my portfolio, which is like right here. Um, but yeah, does anyone else have any other questions? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I was also gonna share this as well. Oops. I was also gonna share this as well. I actually interviewed with Rare Beauty and Sashu Beauty, but I didn't make the cut, unfortunately. But it was very much a learning experience. I pitched those campaigns myself. And yeah, it just led down to experience, which is the downside of everything, but I'm still trying to gain more experience. And honestly, I was actually gonna start doing these webinars if I got that job, and then I kind of like prolonged it. But after everything, I've just been receiving a lot of support and excitement when it came to the portfolio, and so that's why I'm here. Yeah, I'll just wait for the last 10 minutes as our last opportunity. But yeah, does anyone else have any other questions?
Hi. Leah here.
Mhm.
Sorry, thank you for answering all of my questions. But I guess one question I did have was how important would you say are like certifications, like HubSpot, SEMrush, like those kind of SEO tools to our portfolio?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. If I'm being completely honest, I've been meaning to do the certifications, but I haven't. Um, I would say they're valuable. Because they're not a waste. Like obviously getting, especially when you're like you f finish your undergrad and then you are going into the work field and workforce and everything like that. Yeah, so far I haven't incorporated certifications in my resume, so I don't know what what recruiters look for. Like, I think they, at the end of the day, like they look for experience. But I don't think a certification would hurt. So that's also another way to create more branding of yourself, like posting on LinkedIn, like, hey, I just finished this certification and this is what I learned. Like, that's a great way to add more to your resume. And that would never hurt. But I will say, it is valuable what keywords and what certifications you use for and experience in your resume. So, but that's for a later event. I do want to do different workshops like resumes or like even like LinkedIn community or like even interviewing. I definitely want to share my experience in the future. Oh, hello, Emily. I don't know if it's different for the marketing side, but for UXCI, they don't like seeing that you have a certification, is what I've heard from other career coaches. Oh, that's really interesting. They told me to reframe saying the certificate is a contract job or an actual school. Oh, that's so interesting. I've never heard of that. Yeah, so I will say, yeah, again, depending on the kind of role. Um, oh, is that for me, Claire? But yeah, so answering the question, I think it just depends the company, the role, and also just like your experience at the end of the day. Because yeah, I don't have any certifications. I didn't go to school for marketing. I just contributed work. And so I would just say, but yes, Claire, my resume is on my portfolio. And then if you don't have my portfolio, it's on the corner right here. You could scan it, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's actually interesting. I never heard of that. Yeah, I've been meaning to do certifications though. Um, Not the fact that I don't, I mean, because I feel like it's so valuable to be learning about, you know, keywords in the industry more. But again, I feel like you only learn so much unless you have experience. Because let's say one person didn't go to school, but they've been in the industry for 5, 10 years versus someone who did their certifications and they didn't have experience in the industry, right? So like for example, I would want to work for a company that's owned by Elf, but they only consider people who've had like industry experience from like working at Sephora or working at an Elf internship, right? Versus like if I were to say I've been working in beauty for 5 years, even though like that doesn't matter to them, if that makes sense. Is the beauty field the main field you're trying to break into? That's a good question. So, my 5 to 20 year frame of what my career will look like, I definitely want to get into beauty now that I'm 25, so I'm like in my mid 20s. I've been wanting to get into beauty for the last like I would say like year. I definitely wanted to get into digital marketing the last 2 years, but beauty marketing has just been the only thing. I was considering healthcare marketing. That's something I was also interested in. And then I would hope to get into tech as well, like creative tech. So like Adobe or Canva, just because their creator programs are just so innovative and friendly. And so that's like my goal. Hmm That's a good question. But yeah, I think that would be a lot of work. Oh, okay, cool. I feel better. No, because I feel like everyone I talk to on LinkedIn, they're like after college, so like in their 19 or 20. So, or they're like recruiters, but mhm. Yeah. But yes, we have 3 minutes, so if you want to ask your questions now, now would be the time. But other than that, I really appreciate everyone who came twice, essentially, because the event ended. But yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. I will be posting the slides today. And then I will also be posting the video maybe sometime in the next week or two. So. Yeah, if you have any notes, even post about that, like, hey, I just attended the marketing portfolio event. You could tag me, tag other girls that you talk to, and be like, this is what I learned so far. Yeah, I just want my foot in the industry. Because you know why? I would repost it, other girls will repost it, comment it, and then people will see. And then that's just how the algorithm works. Thanks, girl. I'm honestly so impressed by your work ethic. So amazing. Oh, thank you, Claire. Thank you, guys. I'm so touched. Yes, thank you, Leah. Yeah, I'm so grateful for you guys. And yeah, this is definitely not the last workshop that I'll have. I'm just so happy that you guys made it. Thank you, Destiny. Yeah, again, feel free to DM me as well. My LinkedIn is always open, everything like that. Thank you, Bianca.